3, 4.
Here in Dundalk Institute of Technology, if a student wishes to study music, they can take our BA Honours in Applied Music, or they could take the BA Honours in Production of Music and Audio. So as two undergraduate programmes, they're quite different.
The Applied Music programme has opportunities to study Irish traditional music alongside popular and jazz music, alongside classical music. So all students engage in all genres with lots of opportunities for performance.
And within that as well, the students get the opportunity to study musicology, ethnomusicology, to really get a solid grounding in the basis of music, studying things like analysis, musicianship, so they can really develop their ear, really develop themselves as musicians so that they understand the music that they're performing.
And then, of course, we also have courses on the more technological side of things. So courses such as the BA Honours in the Production of Music and Audio.
So there's a lot of focus on their time in the studio. They're very much aware of all technological advancements and developments, and I think the skills that we've given them here has certainly given them a strong footing on the employment ladder in that sense.
In the summer of 2016, a group of staff and students from Dundalk Institute of Technology travelled to Scotland. The group performed at the International Society for Music Education Conference in Glasgow. From there, they made their way to Moray in the northeast of Scotland, where they performed at Speyfest. Now, in its 21st year, the festival provided an opportunity for these Irish musicians and filmmakers to engage with the vibrant living traditions of Scotland, experience the wonderful community and hospitality of Fockabers, and participate in this exciting festival. While in Scotland, we had the opportunity to listen to many other groups and teach our music to local children. Join us on our journey.
I play the wooden flute, and the particular flute I play is called Rudel and Rose. It's made in 1828. They were the best the best makers around at the time. It's a wonderful flute.
I play the tenor banjo, and I also play the guitar. And Barney McKenna, I think, was kind of like one of the first people to kind of play it in the confines of trad.
I play the guitar, and in traditional circles anyway, it's used mainly for rhythm, chordal accompaniment, and I do a little bit of melody playing as well.
I play the flute and whistle in the group. So the flute's actually one of the main instruments within Irish traditional music. But a lot of people don't actually know that it actually dates back to the 19th century to Baroque music.
I first started to play music when I was 6. I started playing the tin whistle, and after a couple of years I moved on to playing the flute, and after I was pretty proficient at those two instruments, and I moved on to the button accordion. A lot of people think that the button accordion is unique to Irish music, but in fact it's played all over the world.
I started playing music when I was a kid, and I moved to traditional music in my late teens, and I've been playing since then, so that's over 40 years.
I think I took up the banjo when I was about 6 or 7. I got one for Christmas. I think I really wanted a guitar, but I got the banjo instead, so I was happy enough anyway.
Since I was about 10 years old, I think, kind of on and off, I did a bit and then left it for a while, and then came back to it when I found my interest again, and haven't quit since.
I was brought up in a musical family, and going to sessions and that was part of my social life as a child.
I have a really, really musical family. My dad and my 2 sisters, they all play music, and we always went to Flas when we were kids as well.
My father played an awful lot when he was young, and it was only when I started to play that he went back to playing, to show me that he could play the mouth organ.
Neither one of my parents play, but all my sisters play. We were all sent to like tin whistle lessons when we were much younger, and I think secretly I think tin whistle lessons were cheaper than a babysitter, so that's why we were sent in.
Well, I come from a very musical family. My father's side would be very musical. Yeah, it's definitely, I've been born into it.
I'm playing the banjo in the group, So my musical upbringing was quite varied. I started in a school band, which didn't have much traditional music, if any, but was encouraged. I started on classical piano, essentially, doing my grades. I was doing Irish dancing with Patricia Hannafin, and I performed for many years with Siam Satira, the National Folk Theatre of Ireland.
My teacher on the accordion was a wonderful man called Rory Kennedy, and he was a member of the famous Siam Satira band. So there was a very strong tradition of music making here in Dundalk when I was growing up.
We have a scheduled contemporary group, traditional group and classical group every week as part of our modules.
There's an awful lot of work to get it that tight. Like, we're building it on work that we've been doing over the last year.
There's a lot of focus on practical music making as well as the theoretical.
So we have a state-of-the-art recording studio with 5 live rooms. As we speak, there are students in there working on undergraduate research projects, recording, editing, mixing albums and singles. Alongside that, we have a TV studio, radio studio, we have recital rooms and a theatre. So bringing it all together, we've a wonderful creative hub. And of course, alongside those bigger facilities, we have smaller editing suites, various labs, and up-to-date programs to ensure that everything is at industry standard. I'm delighted to be travelling. I think travel is a wonderful thing, and I try to travel as much as I can. I've been fortunate with music to do that, and this will be my first visit to Speyfest also.
But I have been away at festivals in Europe and that.
In terms of networking and getting to know people, it's pretty crucial for that.
And you meet lots of different musicians and see what people are doing and how imaginative they are.
It gives a real sense to the public what DkIT is about, that we just don't offer opportunities for our students to study in DkIT. We bring students out of the classroom.
One of the best things about travelling is meeting new people and people who share an interest, because if you're going to a festival like Speyfest, you're going to find things in common.
So to get the students on a world stage to perform at an event such as the International Society for Music Education Conference in Glasgow, and then to bring them up to a traditional music festival in Northern Scotland, I think that the documentary will really show all the work that has to go into preparing for such an event.
That's one of the great things about travelling to something like this.
People's place, and there's lots of people floating around. Maybe it's just the day was really good, but lots of people enjoying themselves. Makes it very nice.
We're just after hearing some of the American band soundcheck there, and it's made me even more excited for tonight for DkIT's performance at ISME.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to hearing them. They've sounded so good, so I just can't wait to get on stage and play as well.
So for a number of years now, I've been involved with the Society for Music Education in Ireland, SMEI, and I'm delighted that they've helped us with some of the funding towards our trip to ISME, which is the International Society for Music Education. So SMEI would be an affiliate of ISME.
And SMEI is a representative body of individuals, groups and associations interested in music teaching and learning across all genres.
So that's a very interesting network to be involved in, to see what are the advances in music education that are ongoing.
And it's about sharing research, sharing practice, sharing innovation in music teaching and learning within the Irish context.
The International Society for Music Education hosts a conference every year in different locations around the world. It's an amazing gathering of educators, specifically music educators.
But with that Community Music Commission, I suppose I've made my best friends in the world who are from all over the world. I mean, every country you could imagine, or every continent.
So it's very diverse in terms of the various different groupings that we have, and then within those, a multitude of countries, a multitude of cultural contexts, and then obviously, again, within those, you have diverse genres, diverse musical styles, diverse approaches to teaching and to learning.
So we were delighted that DkIT was selected as one of the representatives of Ireland for this year's conference.
We played at the ISME conference last night. That's the International Society of Music Education.
These trips they're golden opportunities to meet new people, and that's so important for us as young musicians.
You can't really understand a lot of people, though. Their accents are so strong.
No, very hard to understand, and they're probably thinking the same about us.
Yeah, probably.
I think it went really well. I think it gelled well. We gelled well. I suppose there was a sense of, well, we had to make some adjustments beforehand. But I think what it's the sense of being able to join in. The music actually flows into you, and you express it through tapping the foot, and you're actually in the music. And that really came across last night.
I think it's just our national music's kind of really upbeat, and you can dance to it. It's a big social aspect of our music. That's why it appeals to other nations.
Because Irish people are so exposed to Irish music, like if you go on holidays in Ireland, you'll walk into a gift shop and all you hear is like the same hornpipe, the same jig played over and over again. But then there's the other side of it where other people of other ethnicities, like they've never really listened to Irish music on as much of a, like they're not as exposed to it as we would be.
We went down to the museum, main museum, and we wanted to look at the Salvador Dali painting, which was incredible.
I didn't have much appreciation for the art in the museum. Like Salvador Dali sounds like it's like a beer to me, like. But I really liked all the stuff downstairs, like the elephants and the Spitfire. I love elephants.
But for me, a big part was on the way back. Came across a luthier's shop, a shop front with a guitar maker working inside, as if it was a sweet shop or a grocery or anything else. So we dropped in, and he was very welcoming, and we had a chat with him about what he does and his business, making guitars or repairing them. And I was particularly interested because I make flutes.
It was nice just talking to your man. Doesn't sell guitars, he just makes them and repairs them and gives courses, and he's very interesting to talk to. Like, I also didn't know Morris made flutes.
It was really beautiful, unexpected, and fantastic stuff in learning about the life of Glasgow.
We're going up to Huckabars, I think, all the way there from Aberdeen. We're in Aberdeen, right? Yeah, we're in Aberdeen. Woo!
Currently we are on the way to Speyfest to perform there for the whole weekend, where we'll be teaching students on Friday and Saturday, and then performing on Saturday and Sunday as well.
We've been having great fun up at Baxter's the last couple of days. We've met with wonderful people from around this area who have learned some music from us and shared music with us. So I hope you enjoy.
So the workshops went very, very well this morning. This first day, obviously yesterday, was getting to know us, getting to know the musicians, getting to know what they could play. But things really came together this morning. I think they were just so determined to put their heart and soul into it because they knew they were going to get an opportunity to play on the stage at Speyfest.
So just off the stage now, pouring with sweat, but brilliant, great reaction. It was lovely to have the participants in the workshops there as well, and got a good buzz. And I suppose there's a great act on before us, McClure, who we know Tomas Callister from coming over to the DkIT before. They really had the crowd going, so to get up after that.
Personally, I love traditional music, and I think it breaks down barriers, music, that's what it does. You know, it doesn't matter if you're where you're from or who you are or what your cultural background is or what religion you are or anything like that. It's just about that beat, you know, and if you got that, then everyone will have a good time.
Speyfest, it's a celebration of Celtic music in its widest sense and Celtic traditions, craft. So basically just an overall celebration of Celtic traditions, music being the main reason for it.
Part of Speyfest has always been to encourage people from a wide area, from across the border, and indeed from Ireland. We have had dance groups over here, and it's about getting people mixing, getting people doing things, and the audience love it.
In 1994, I was involved in a fundraising event for the local high school. So we were looking to raise money for a minibus at the time, and the fiddle group that I ran, we were often out and about doing community stuff, so the idea of getting a minibus was just great. So we put together a 2-day mini farm fete, if you want, and as part of that, a group of fiddlers, pupils of mine, were playing on the back of a lorry at the farm. Hundreds of people were there. The crack was good, the atmosphere was good. I've been thinking about a festival for some time to host and hosted by Falconers, but different from all the other festivals that were around here, like the Traditional Music and Song Association, folk festivals, something that would involve Celtic music in its wider sense, even some of the more cutting-edge contemporary bands at that time, like Woolstone. Young people were starting to associate with these bands, and what intrigued me about it was these bands were keeping old tunes alive, but putting a totally different backing to them. So I just said a festival in Falconers of that kind, thought nothing of it. So about 3 weeks later, somebody phoned me up and says, "See that idea you had about a festival in Falconers, were you serious?" And I thought, what festival, what idea? And it was born from that, so we seed sown.
But we wanted to support something around young people. And when the Young Entertainer, the Speyfest Young Entertainer of the Year was devised 1 year ago, we were very keen to be involved, and we were asked if we would sponsor the event. And it was extremely successful in the first year, and this year it has just gone from strength to strength. The confidence that the young people have shown here today, it's just been overflowing. And this year in particular has seen an expanding. There's been a great variation. There's been dance, there's been fiddle music, there's been pipe music, and the youngsters have just so much confidence.
Young people across, the traditional music playing world, it's our responsibility to protect this music and to carry it on and to pass it on. If you want to protect your culture forever, then you gotta let it grow in certain ways, so you can pass on your version of it. But you need to make sure that your version is true to the original version, but that doesn't mean you can't put drums with it or you can't do that. You just need to make sure that it doesn't destroy the main core principles of the traditional music, which are for dancing. It's for dancing, you know what I mean?
I suppose the life that's in the music, as you say, the pulse, sort of rhythm, almost like an infectious thing, isn't it? You can't avoid but tap your foot or want to dance there. I think the Scots and Irish, I don't want to be political, but the whole Celtic nation thing is definitely a fraternity.
you know, people come from every country in the world to Ireland to hear this music and experience our culture. I think we should definitely celebrate try and get it out there as much as we can.